All right, this is a very big moment here on the IPM Nation. We're doing our very first special interview with our very first guest ever in the entire history of the show.
Dun, dun, dun!
The entire history of the show. How long have we been doing this? It seems like decades.
About a week now.
Oh, I have a limited concept of time. So we're sitting here with Amy from Silly Girl Promotions. How are you, Amy?
I'm okay. How are you?
Very well. Thank you for joining us today.
Why, thank you for having me.
So tell me about Silly Girl Promotions.
Silly Girl Promotions is a New Hampshire-based promotional company for bands in the New England area, mostly unsigned, but we have worked with a signed band. Woohoo!
What band?
Dead by Wednesday.
Oh, we play them on the show.
Yes,
yeah,
we do.
They're signed to Stillborn Records, who is Jamie Jasta from Hatebreed's record label, actually.
Stillborn, they make Peeps, right?
No, that's a Firstborn.
Is it Firstborn?
I believe
Something born.
so.
Just born.
I'm pretty sure it's not Stillborn.
It's not Stillborn, it's Just Born.
Peeps?
Pretty gross at Peeps, yeah. You know, the Easter candy.
It would be
Oh.
pretty gross if it was Stillborn
Little
Peeps.
pink, fuzzy, nasty blobs of sugar that you call stillborns. I don't know.
Oh,
Sounds pretty gross.
I completely missed the reference.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't know
Peeps.
what was going on.
You know, they make bunnies now for help. But I think they were called Peeps because they were like little birds, little chickadees.
Chicks.
Yeah.
Oh,
But now they make them for every season.
Yep. Halloween. Yeah, exactly. Christmas ones. They have like Santas and
And
trees.
some snowmen.
Yeah,
ones.
snowmen. Yeah.
Wow.
The thing, I don't think they taste the same for different holidays. I think Easter ones actually taste different than
I
every
think
other
they
holiday.
all taste like crap.
yeah.
We do?
Yeah.
You
I
haven't-
agree, actually.
You haven't let them sit. You have to open a package.
Yeah, my mom
Let them sit.
subscribes to this rule, and they still taste like crap.
I enjoy them.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I thought you were going to say she subscribes to a magazine about Peeps.
Yes, Peeps Weekly.
I wonder if they have that.
I did.
They have a fan club. I'm not yet a member.
So, how completely off track can we get? Oh, so
this
Silly
train
Girl-
derails all the time, and no one's gotten killed yet.
I heard you guys are making T-shirts about that.
About what?
The train.
Oh, yes.
Right.
There's no stopping
There's
this
no
train.
stopping this train. A big ear with a train coming out of it and a few
Yep.
seagulls, I think.
Yep,
and
some
someone's
soggy
face
fries.
getting cut.
Cut. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Need the face cutting.
We're big into face cutting. I could cut faces all day.
I think there should be a band called Cut Your Face.
I'm
I'm sure there is. I'm going to go online right now and figure it out. I'll just Google it. I'm sure we'll find something.
It could be that I'm already in one, and I just don't mention it on the show. Little inside joke.
It would be hysterical if it was a band called Cut Your Face, but then it was like a gospel group or something completely like off genre.
Something you would
with-
not... Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You ever hear that joke? Jesus walks into a motel, puts a couple nails on the desk, and says, "Can you put me up for the night?"
Yeah, it was in the movie The Crow.
Oh, it's okay. I just heard that joke for the first time the other day.
I don't think I've ever heard it.
Did I ever tell you my Snoop Dogg joke?
No.
Why does Snoop Dogg carry an umbrella?
Why?
For drizzle.
Ah.
It's the only joke I know.
You ever work with Snoop Dogg?
Not yet.
Oh,
Not
okay.
yet. She's
I
looking
have
over.
I have worked with some hip hop artists though.
Yeah.
I did a hip hop night at the Uptown Tavern with Impact Player Music, ironically enough.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. And we had a lot of horror rappers that night. It was very interesting.
Horror rappers?
Yes.
What's that?
It's the Insane Clown Posse genre
Oh,
of
okay.
hip hop.
Yeah, I didn't know they had that term, horror rappers.
That's how I equate it.
Yeah, no, that's a good name. I think that works.
It's
It rappers also, I think, would be appropriate.
it's an interesting genre. I don't know. Their fans are pretty rabid. So
Really?
and they have an interesting cross section. Rap fans that listen to like Insane Clown Posse also tend to be your average metal listener, and that's
That makes
usually most of the fans that I work with are either metal bands or metal fans. Though I have tried to start branching out on my genres.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
It's good to do.
I have a poppy rock band that I've been working with lately.
Who's that?
They're called The Speed of Film.
That's a cool name.
That sounds interesting.
And they write songs about love. And
Really?
they're not angry. They smile the entire time they play.
Do they really?
It's very strange for me.
Wow.
I wonder if they'd be interested in doing some music for a film. That'd be pretty fitting.
I bet they would be happy to do that.
And that type of music usually lends itself well to film, I think. poppy, happy.
They're very poppy and happy, but ironically, their drummer is how I got involved with them. Their drummer has been the drummer for a number of different metal bands in the New Hampshire region.
Wow.
So that's how I met him. Used to be a drummer for Change of Season.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
And then Through the Walls.
Oh, okay.
Little Dave. We call him Little because he's 5'2".
That's a small man.
Yeah, I always make sure I don't wear tall shoes on nights that Dave comes around.
You don't want him to feel intimidated?
No.
But
I want him to feel like he has a person to relate to, and it could be me.
Mm-hmm.
How tall are you?
5'4".
Okay. Well, you're still taller than he is.
I know. I try to slump.
Oh, okay. You hunker down a little bit?
I sacrifice my posture.
That's good of you.
I'm good like that.
Yeah. Way to be.
Now, it'd suck if a person like you had to marry a person like him, because you'd be slouching
I'd
your
have
whole
a
life.
hump.
You'd develop a hump over time.
Yeah.
Mm.
I already have poor posture like that. So
I think most people do.
Most
I
Americans
try to
do,
pay attention
yeah.
to it once in a while, especially when I'm sitting working on things, and I realize I'm kind of like, my neck's sticking out, my chin's like over my forehead.
Wow. That's
your
really
chin
bad
is
posture.
over your forehead. That's
He does yoga.
I do yoga with neck yoga. One time I cut my face.
That's the worst time to cut your face.
Yes.
when
Doing
you're
yoga?
doing yoga.
Yeah.
The downward facing face cut. It's an advanced posture, actually.
Yeah. Takes a while to
It
get
does.
to be able to do that.
Wow. I'll have to aspire towards that posture.
Then you won't cut your face anymore
No.
if you do it right.
It's scary. I got big nails too. I gotta cut my nails. I've been doing a lot of finger picking lately, and I find it works well for doing that style. But I've cut my face a few times while sleeping. I wake up and there's blood all over my pillow, and
You need to get those mittens that they give to newborn babies
Yes.
so they don't,
that's what I was. Yeah, I was looking at that.
So you have like talons.
Yeah, much like they're razor sharp, made of
Large talons.
unbreakable steel. Mm-hmm.
Well, you're part eagle, right?
Yes, part eagle because I'm so American. I'm so American. I'm bald.
Wow.
Bald eagle.
That's a fantastic wig you have if you're bald.
Yeah, actually, me and Matt both have wigs.
That's right.
Well, I already knew that
Yeah.
about you.
And Velcro.
Cat fur.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that story.
Very natural.
I listened to the show. I'm a listener. I actually listened to the show
Wow.
in the shower the other day.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah, because my laptop is portable, so I
There you go.
I set it up. I don't know if the steam is good for it, but
How does my voice sound in the shower?
it sounded like Matt Connerton's, ironically, but not really. Ironically, like,
Not Alanis Morissette.
no.
No, I should hope not.
Oh, God. We gotta leave that one for dead.
So how did you start Silly Girl Promotions?
Silly Girl Promotions kind of started as a concept more than a business. I was sitting around one day, home alone, and decided to just start a MySpace to help promote bands in the area. I was dating someone in a band at the time, and I worked a lot for the band and was really frustrated with putting a lot of effort and not getting any credit. I always felt like I was working really hard, and then at the end of the night, the band got up and they got applause, and I just got kind of to sit there and go, wow, I did a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to just build a MySpace to kind of help the bands that I knew along, that I had met from having interactions with all these bands by dating someone in the local music scene. And from there, I just kind of started promoting their shows that they already had lined up. And then I went to a show that they had one night, and I ended up talking to the two promoters that booked the show that night. And they had actually heard of me from MySpace. They didn't know who I actually was, but they had heard of the concept of Silly Girl Promotions.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 days later, they contacted me and asked me if I want to book a show. They contacted me on a Tuesday and asked me if I could find 4 bands for Saturday night.
Oh, cool.
And never having booked a band in my life, I, of course, said, of course I could do that. That'll be no problem. and somehow managed to successfully do that. And my addiction started.
Yeah. Well, you always got to challenge yourself, I think, say that you can do something you're not sure if you can do and just work like hell to do it. And that's the way that's one of the ways you can, learn to do it.
Yeah,
Kinda like
it's last minute shows kind of became my speciality when I first started. A lot of different promoters in the area would call on me at the last minute, including Matt from Impact Player Music, to fill a spot at the last minute when a band had canceled or for some reason they had decided not to do the work that they were supposed to do and realized that their show was a week out and that a big hole. Not that I'm accusing you of that,
Yes.
but so I was filling spots a lot that way. That's how I really got into booking, was just by calling people in for these last minute hectic please play a show because we don't have anyone to show up kind of situations. And then I got the opportunity to actually get shows where I could plan ahead.
Well, that's good.
And I've booked within, other than just filling spots, have booked my own shows in Manchester, Dover, and Lowell, Massachusetts.
Oh,
so I've had opportunities to do little shows where, we weren't expecting a big turnout. We had a small room to I did fill 2 spots on Seacoast Metal Fest this year, which is a big day-long festival. So I work a lot with different promoters in the area, and I'm, unlike a lot of other people, I'm more about let's bring a scene together and let's work together instead of let's compete against each other.
Right.
And I think that the local music scene doesn't benefit from that attitude. So I kind of have a reputation of being honest, which is very weird in the music scene. And I'm not here because I'm trying to make money. I'm here because I care about the New Hampshire and New England music scene, and I'm trying to make it a better place.
That's good. How do you get in touch with the venues that you work with? I mean, you must be a lot of different venues all around. You said Lowell and all around New Hampshire and the New England area.
It's either through the promoters that are already there that have had me help them out that then give me a night, or I was looking at the Dover Brick House, and the Dover Brick House actually contacted me, but I used to be a regular there. I got sucked into the local music scene because of the Dover Brick House. I just started going there randomly, and then my roommate ended up working there as a bouncer, and so I would be there pretty much all the time. That's where I met my boyfriend, and then he kind of further dragged me into it. So I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for the Dover Brick House, first of all, because I just decided it was time to go out and see what was out there. Yeah. And kind of got sucked into their Metal Wednesdays there. Not because I necessarily was crazy about the music. That kind of came over time. But it was just the sense of community that Dover has that the rest of the areas around here kind of lack, which is why one of the other reasons why I started Silly Girl Promotions, because when I moved to Manchester, there wasn't that same group of people that would come out to the same venue every week to support whatever bands were there. And it really frustrated me because I felt like such part of community in Dover. And I was trying to bring it to Manchester. And whether I've succeeded or not, it still remains to be seen. But there is, we might not show up every week, but I think we have a kind of a big family. I would say that there's a Silly Girl family that kind of comes around and that helps me promote shows that they're not on. For a band to promote a show that they're not on, it's just, it shows that they believe in what I'm doing, and I can't even begin to say how good that feels.
That's awesome.
So
You said that you liked when you first started. You weren't really into the music as much. What sort of music were you into when you first started promoting?
well, I mainly work with metal bands, but I wouldn't say that metal is my huge love in life, or that I love metal, but I love lots of different kinds of music.
Yep.
I just find that it's easier for me to work with metal bands. I have more contacts in that genre. And I think it's a scene that needs help.
Really?
I feel like it's a scene that really needs help.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm accomplishing something. So
Cool.
I don't know. Bands that smile all the time creep me out. And I mean, I have done a rap show before, but I always felt like it's hard for me to relate to a rapper.
Right.
I don't listen to the rap a lot. I do listen to some, but it's not something that I know a lot about. So I feel kind of out of my element.
Sure.
Though metal is something that I learn more about constantly. So I would never say I was an expert, but I work really hard to learn on
Are you a
daily
musician
basis.
as well? I've seen pictures of you singing along. And
I don't know if I'd call that singing. I have sung, not professionally or not with a band, but music has always been part of my life. I mean, I was a band and choir kid in high school. I did take, voice lessons and did all that. I've always flirted with the idea of being in a band, but I'm a big wimp. But I do some vocal effects for a local band called Disorder by Design out of Lowell, Mass.
I've heard of them.
I do. That's where all the pictures are from. Yeah, I don't know how much more I want to go into that.
Really?
Yeah, Matt's seen it. It's very interesting. We'll just say that I provide some vocal effects that simulate the topic of one of their songs.
Okay.
And if you've ever heard Disorder by Design, their songs are pretty much all about the same topics.
Yeah.
Sex and angry moshing.
Angry
and,
sex.
Angry sex.
Sex while angry.
They do have a song about sex while angry. And rain.
Rain.
Yeah.
Rain
Yeah.
and sex?
No, just rain,
No,
I think. Yeah.
just rain.
Just
the
rain,
song's really just about rain.
Oh, well, that's a good topic.
Yeah.
Falls on everyone, right?
It's pretty interesting, actually.
What are some of the other bands you work with in the area?
I've worked with a lot of bands. Broken Hell and First Shove, of course. Reckoning from Worcester, Mass. Habitual Offenders are definitely part of the Silly Girl family. They're probably one of my closest, nearest, and dearest friends. There's so many that I feel like if I list them all, I'm going to leave people out.
Well, we should mention, too, that you have your Silly Girl page on the IPM site, which has a list of bands that you've
It does
worked
have
with,
a pretty
too.
large list.
It does.
It's not a complete list because I ran out of space, actually. You can make a table there, but you're only allowed to have so many squares, so I ran out of squares.
Uh-oh.
So it actually says and many more because I just ran out of spots.
Well, that says a lot. I mean, at least you're vast.
I try to, as a goal now, I try to work with at least one band I haven't worked with before on every show that I do.
Oh, wow.
Because for a while, I fell into a trap that I think a lot of promoters fall into, which is booking the same bands over and over again in different combinations. So it got to the point where I didn't want to go to some of my shows anymore because
Running out of combinations.
I had seen the same bands so many times, and while I love them and I love what they do, it gets boring after a while.
Yeah, the same songs. The same. I mean, I can definitely.
I remember going to one of my shows over this past fall, and one of the bands that I book quite often was like, and we have 2 new songs tonight. And I actually said out loud, oh, thank God, because
Oh, no.
it was something different. It was
Yeah.
just like, I've seen this band every month for the past like 4 months. I need something different.
Mm-hmm.
So I have made it a goal to try to work with somebody different at every one of my shows. But I have kind of stepped back from booking a little bit right now because I felt like I was doing so many events that no one event got the proper promotion that it was supposed to get, which I think it's hard for promoters that book week in and week out. It's hard to have a big event, and I'm kind of working on having a big event.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the big event?
I do want to talk about the big event because I'm scared and excited for it. I am scared. Though.
Are you?
Oh, yes. I feel like this is the first time I've actually gambled on a show.
Well, you have to
So.
gamble to gain. A lot of people say that. You
Put
know?
that on the shirt.
Put that on the shirt.
This is the first time where I've fiscally made a commitment to a show. Most of the time I get offered venues for free, and I don't have to pay out anyone at the end of the night. I have to pay out people.
Wow.
This is my first paying show. It's at Millie's Tavern on 500 Commercial Street on February 16th.
Manchester, New Hampshire.
Manchester, New Hampshire. I have 5 bands, the tightest set times I have ever written in my entire life. So it'll be very interesting. And it's my first time working with a full staff. I have a stage manager for the night. The door people are my door people. The sound guy is the club's, but I'm paying for him. And I have 5 incredible bands, including Dead by Wednesday, all the way from New Haven, Connecticut.
They were our number 1 most played track last week in the
They're
IPM Weekly Top 5.
fantastic. And it's so rare that you actually find a metal band that can do a political angle to their music and be intelligent about it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that's really significant. They're
I think
just
that's pretty popular these days too. That's something like that could really, a lot of people would relate to that.
yeah. Plus their guitarist has the same sneakers as me.
Well, there you go.
It's the first thing I ever said to him when I met him. We both have Chuck Taylors with skulls on them, and we bought them at the same store, but he bought his on sale.
Ah.
It's pretty sad. I have to bake them cookies. That's part of our agreement.
It's in their rider.
That's how I got them to come. I promised them cookies.
Oh, wow.
When you're a girl, you can make different agreements than other
Yeah.
people.
Well, I know I've heard people have, requested that they have a jar of, black jelly beans backstage at their shows.
Well,
so.
I said I will bake you cookies. I can't even purchase them. I actually have to bake them.
And they'll know.
Do you have to make them from scratch, or can you buy them from
I'm using a mix.
Oh, good. Okay.
I already have the mixes.
Okay.
I'm actually making 3 different kinds of 2 cookies, and I decided to make brownies as well.
Wow.
Because I thought that the other 4 bands would probably enjoy cookies and brownies as well. So
Will they be served at the show?
I'm going to bring them to the show, but I'm going to try to keep them in the back room because I don't want...
Everybody to eat them at the bands?
Unfortunately, fans, if you come to the show, you won't be getting cookies.
Bring your own cookies. BYOC.
But you can taste the wild array of Millie's homebrewed beers because Millie's Tavern is the only brewery in Manchester that brews their own beers.
Yeah.
And they have a website, milliestavern.com, correct?
milliestavern.com, yeah. They also have a MySpace, which I don't know what
I
the
didn't know
address is, but
It's probably Millie's Tavern.
if you go on the Silly Girl Promotions MySpace, it's on there in my list of friends.
Excellent.
And my MySpace is myspace.com/sillygirlpromotions, where you can learn more about my show, which evidently you guys only think Dead by Wednesday's playing. So we could talk about the other bands
We've been
too.
mentioning all the shows.
He's mentioned all the
bands.
bands written in remains and
Yeah, Written in Remains. I'm pretty excited to see them. It's their second show ever.
Broken
Wow.
Hell will be there.
Broken
Broken
Hell.
Hell.
Yeah, I heard they have some new songs that I'm pretty excited. Evil Mike has been emailing me saying that they're trying to unveil some new songs that evening. So
Yes.
that's going to be one of the best birthday presents that I could have is new tracks.
Yeah.
Hot tracks, I think I'm going to call them.
And their bass player is amazing.
He has incredible hair.
Yes.
And then Bloodshed Unreal will be there
Yep.
with their guitarist, Matt, or as I like to refer to him, Matt the Misfit. You know Matt the Misfit.
Absolutely. I've known him for years.
Who used to have really long hair, but now he has no hair, which is weird.
A lot of people seem to do that. People that always have long hair, they want to like shock everyone they know and just shave it bald. And some
Yeah.
people have heart attacks. So they're like,
Well,
I can't
sometimes
believe
that's out
this.
of necessity, too.
Really?
I don't know what his deal is, if
okay.
his hair was leaving on its own accord.
I don't know. And I'm missing someone.
Yeah.
Oh, Reckoning. How could I forget
Reckoning.
Reckoning?
No, you said Reckoning.
No, I
No,
didn't.
there's somebody else.
We said
Well,
it,
you said Reckoning earlier. No, but isn't there someone... Dead by Wednesday, Reckoning,
Written in
Hell,
Remains, Bloodshed Unreal.
Oh, that is
and
everybody. Okay.
Reckoning.
I apologize.
Reckoning should never be forgotten, though.
No, Reckoning with a
reckon not.
W.
Yes, Reckoning with a W.
In fact, we debuted their track "A Road" last week on the show.
They're really funny guys. They someone told them that that's how you spell Reckoning was with a W,
And they
they
believed
named
it.
their band that. And then later on, it was brought to their attention that that was incorrect.
Yeah.
So, but they're a bunch of great bunch of guys. They've been around for the past 4 years. They just finished putting out their full length album, 10 Mighty Songs.
Is that the name of the album?
No, the name of the album is One.
Mighty Song?
No, just one,
Oh.
because they figured that they weren't going to be very creative. So their next album will probably be called Two.
Well, that's good for if they put out dozens of albums, you can keep track and
You'll know which ones
Order
you're
of time.
missing,
Mhm.
and yeah, but yeah, they're a bunch of great guys.
Yeah.
I would say that I'm a Reckoning fan, and it's hard for me to not be fans of everybody, but to really get behind them, I have to. I can't find myself supporting bands that don't support themselves. So
Right.
they're good promoters. They work really hard for what they have, and they actually they push their comfort levels. They're touring all the time, so I know.
Good for them. Yeah.
Right
That's
before
what
they
it
go
takes.
to do my birthday show, they're going back down to Virginia to play. So
Wow. Very good.
all
Yeah.
over.
they are all over the map. And they just got finished playing a show with Hardcore Legends Murphy's Law.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, last weekend or 2 weekends ago.
So now you also have a radio show.
I do on ragerockradio.com. It's called The Metal Classroom. And it's coming back from hiatus right now. So we did take some time off for the Christmas season or the holiday season.
Yes, we don't
to
want
be a
to.
little more PC.
We don't want to
Kwanzaa,
offend our.
Hanukkah.
We don't want to offend our Jewish and Muslim friends, especially our Muslim friends, because they will cut your face.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think that statement's kind of racist?
No. I don't care. Whatever. I'm kidding.
I know.
Oh,
I'm not the one that's going to cut your face.
Fundamentalist Muslims will cut your face. And then some.
Radicalist Muslims.
Can you imagine if there was a fundamentalist Muslim at a show where you were on stage with Disorder by Design?
Their head would probably explode.
Yes.
But I don't think we would. I don't know. At least they would know I wouldn't be one of those like virgins waiting for them in heaven when they suicide bombed something. I don't know.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah. It's interesting. It takes a lot to go up on stage like that,
I'm sure it does.
That's never been
and
on
by a
stage.
lot, I mean a lot of alcohol. It's usually my solution to the problem. And then I forget that I've done it, and everyone in the room treats me differently after I come
Yes.
off stage.
Yes.
Boys are like, "Hey," and I'm like, "What's your problem? Why are you acting strangely towards me?" Oh, I forgot. Sorry.
But you don't do that on your show.
No, on the Metal Classroom, we feature local and national metal. I try to educate people more about local metal than national, though we have had shows where we did actually have facts about national metal. I did do a tribute to Dimebag Darrell right before the anniversary of his death. So we did actually present facts that week. It was the most factual classroom I think we ever had. But it did take a lot of research. Most of the time we're just profiling unsigned bands from Massachusetts and New Hampshire. So a lot of the bands I work with have been on the show. Reckoning's done the show. Members of First Shove have done the show. Bloodshed Unreal. Eternal Embrace. Excrecker. And if you haven't checked out Excrecker, one of the best New England bands to be coming up. They're going to be huge. They're like Norwegian death metal from America.
I've been to a couple of their shows.
They were placed on the wrong continent.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they don't leave.
They might.
Really?
I don't know.
What's one of the worst shows ever's gone wrong for you?
As far as the radio show, or
I'm sorry. As far as the show that you've booked,
show that I've booked, we've had people get punched in the face. At the Uptown Tavern one night, they were kicking. A drunk guy came up and started removing the cables from the sound guy's board.
Oh my!
And then when he was asked to leave, decided to punch a random person in the face on the way out.
Wow.
We've had people associated with bands, not in bands, but associated bands, pass out in the bathroom, and the police and fire department have to come and take people out for medical treatments. We've had
it's a wacky, wild metal world, huh?
Yeah, we've had artists who have been less than professional and let me know that they didn't think the way I handled a show was correct in the middle of a club.
Oh wow.
Yeah, rather large man, intimidating a rather small girl.
That's weird.
Awesome.
What about with the radio show? Anything go horribly wrong there?
We have some technical glitches from now, every once in a while, but most of the time things get ironed out. We have scrambled for guests at the last minute, which is always, I feel like we do that a lot, which always makes things a little bit more tense. But at the end of the day, I think that things come out a lot worse than they do. I go back later and listen, and we're a lot more entertaining than I think that we were.
Yeah,
or something that you sense in the room doesn't translate to what goes on over the airwaves. I mean, we've had people that when we're in the room talking come across like they're condescending, or that their ego seems a lot bigger in the smaller room that we're doing the show in, but when you listen to the show later on, it's not an element that's really there.
Yeah.
So,
well, you don't know. They could be Steve Tyler. You're not seeing their face. It could be anybody.
Egos and musicians kind of go hand in hand sometimes. I definitely would not say always. There are a lot of people with genuine hearts around here, but
yeah, it's always good when you have a really good musician, an accomplished musician that can, kind of be grounded and down to earth as well.
I would rather work with a band with lesser musical talent and a great attitude than a talented band that has the "I'm a rock star."
Oh yeah.
If I find out that they have an "I'm a rock star" attitude, it's usually the one and only time I work with them. I only work with bands that promote themselves, and I only work with bands that don't give me an attitude. 9 times out of 10, I'm doing an event where I'm not making anything off of it. At the end of the day, I've probably spent money out of my pocket to attend, and the least I can do is not be needlessly stressed out.
Right.
There are going to be some stresses with time constraints or technical problems with sound and such that are already a big enough issue. I don't need a musician compounding that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Unfortunately, I don't have time for that.
And how do people find the show, The Metal Classroom?
The Metal Classroom is Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for those of you who might be listening across the country and across the world. We have global listeners to The Metal Classroom. I actually have had bands from Australia send me tracks to be played. And I actually get feedback from fans that listen from, Illinois, California. One of the first emails I ever got from somebody I didn't know that listened to the show was just like the coolest thing ever. Just a random email.
Yeah.
Wow, that was really funny. I'm like, who are you? This is awesome. So we have a lot of different listeners. So it's, Monday nights, 9:00 Eastern Standard Time on RageRockRadio.com. If you go to the RageRockRadio.com page, it looks like a regular web page, but there's a link on the side that says listen here, and it'll pop a little player from live365.com, which is the medium that we use to broadcast our radio station out of, and you can listen to the show.
And I believe Rage Rock Radio is the number one metal and hard rock.
We're number 2.
Number 2 on...
It goes Los Angeles, California, Manchester, New Hampshire. Wow. It's just a natural progression, really.
It's not bad.
So we're the East Coast, and we're gaining on them.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a process. And when the Metal Classroom isn't up, Rage Rock Radio does play, national and regional metal, so you can hear a lot of unsigned bands that you really don't have a chance to hear anywhere else, which is good. And once I play a song on the Metal Classroom, it gets put into the rotation. So most of the time, it gets put into the rotation. The songs that I play on the Classroom are really the only say that I get. And I have been vetoed on my decisions sometimes, but I try to keep it a 50-50 mix of local and nationals, because we are trying to attract the global listener, and the global listener wants to listen to the Static X's and the Hate Breeds of the world, and classics like Prong and Guar. But I also want to make it a place where people can hear bands that they've never heard of before, and discover bands. So I don't think nationals need help, but if they're going to help my locals get noticed, then I'm all for it.
It's worth it, definitely.
Yeah. So I try to keep it a 50-50 mix.
Our show, IPM Nation, we don't yet have a global listenership, but we were talking on last week's show, and we've done some research, and we're hugely popular with illegal immigrants coming over the border.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Mostly Mexicans, right?
Yeah. I have to learn some more Espanol.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Ooh, see, we should have had you on sooner.
She's a translator.
All I could come up with is burrito and...
Mi novio es muy guapo.
Wow, what does that mean?
My boyfriend is very handsome.
Wow.
Queso es Dios.
What does that mean?
Cheese is God.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know why I know how to say cheese is God. I used to know how to say there's candy in my pants, but that one I've lost over time.
That's all right. They're both going on the shirt. She doesn't know about the shirt. Or maybe you know about
it.
it.
You do, right?
You do know
she
about
mentioned
the shirt.
it actually a while ago.
Yeah. On the back it should say there's candy in my pants.
Absolutely.
But then we'll, of course, have to make matching set of pants with their own catchphrases and everything like that.
I put candy canes in my pants on Christmas.
Oh, yeah?
One time I woke up and Santa had left a candy cane in my bum.
Really? Wow, that's... I don't know what that is. Wow. Hey, Merry Christmas.
Does that mean you're good or bad? It's kind of a mixed message.
Yeah.
It means Santa is bad. Very, very bad.
Santa's naughty.
Well, Santa and Satan pretty much spelled the same.
That's true.
I had the Tooth Fairy once
And they
leave
both
a dollar
red.
in my bum.
Really?
Yeah.
I had the Tooth Fairy leave a tooth in my bum.
Really?
Wow.
Wow, I got the better deal.
All I ever got was like 50 cents.
In your bum?
No.
Oh.
When I was young, I had I I used to get like 25 cents or something ridiculous like that for teeth. And one time I lost a tooth, and I wrote to the tooth fairy. I wrote a little letter saying, "Please, tooth fairy, can you give me more money this time?"
I want to raise.
Yeah, I want to raise. And I asked for like $1 or something like that. And my mother, and I gave it, and I showed it to my mother, and she has laughed, and I think I gave it to her. So I don't know, probably left it under my pillow or something. And the next morning I woke up, and it was nothing but a quarter. I went through all the trouble of writing that note, but I had that note for years and ended up throwing it away. But it's funny. I mean, if I had kids, and not that my parents were bad, but if I had kids and they asked for more money from the tooth fairy,
and it was only $1.
Yeah, it was $1. Come on.
Now, was your mother being cheap, or did your mother just maybe think that if she left $1 after you had shown her the note, then maybe you would figure out that there was no tooth fairy and it was actually your mother leaving the money?
Wait, there's no tooth fairy?
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
I actually,
Anyway.
now that I think about it, I might have gotten $1. I think. I don't remember. I'm sorry. I screwed up the whole story. I'm not
great.
sure anymore.
See, I was feeling badly for you.
I was feeling bad for myself, but now I'm
and it's not
wondering.
even legit.
I'll have to call my mom.
I remember how I found out that there wasn't a tooth fairy, actually.
Oh, how?
My mom decided to keep all of our teeth for some reason.
Oh, your mom's creepy.
Well, she saved them. I don't know. But she not only did she save them, but she saved them in my brother's room
Oh,
For
for
wow.
some reason. So we found them. Like, we just found this drawer that had a cachet
That's like a scene
full
out of the Blair Witch Project.
a cachet full of teeth.
Oh,
So we were like, "What's going on? Why are all our teeth here?" And
The
she's
tooth
like,
fairy lives at home. Maybe your mother is the tooth fairy.
"I hope
Wow.
she threw them away. I wonder if she has them.
That's weird.
And what if she keeps them and she puts them in a time capsule and she buries them somewhere? And in the future, like, archaeologists like dig them up, but at that point they've like figured out how to clone people.
There you go.
And then they go inside like one of my my tooths, one of my tooths. And they get, like, I don't know, like some blood or
DNA.
some other DNA
Sure,
that's left
something.
behind, and there's a me in the future.
all because of the cachet full of teeth.
Yes, my mom's creepy tooth cachet.
If you have a band, if you ever do start a band, you should call it Cachet Full of Teeth.
Actually, today I think I decided I would call the band Full of Soup.
Why full of soup?
Because I came up from lunch and I said, "Wow, I'm so full of soup."
Now, I remember before you were talking about Midget Donkey Show. You were going to call your band
I was
Midget
going to
Donkey
call the band Midget Donkey Show because I thought that strange people would come up to a show in which you were billing, "Please come see the Midget Donkey Show." But the band has gone through many different names. Whip Out the Zippy was one of them. Breaking Gabe's Face, I believe, was one of them. Demonic Station Wagon.
I like that one.
Yeah, we saw a station wagon. I was actually talking to my friend, and he was at Walmart, and he came out and he said, "Oh my God, I'm parked next to a station wagon with a 666 sticker on it."
Oh.
And I said, "Well, that's a demonic station wagon." And that'd be an awesome name for a band.
With demon children and demon father going on a demon camping trip.
That was my death metal band for the longest time. It was going to be Demonic Station Wagon.
Well, you do have kind of a built-in audience. If you come up with a strange enough name, people are just going to go for
Yeah.
the
There are a
strange
lot of
factor.
bands in the New England area that have that factor going for them.
Really?
Actually, there's a band out of Connecticut called Circus of Dead Squirrels, and they're awesome. They're hysterical. And then Hot Buttered Anal. I've always wanted to book them. I've never even really stopped to listen to them. I just know of them from MySpace. But I'd love to make flyers. I'd be like, "Come see Hot Buttered Anal."
Well, Matt used to play shows under the name Such Wonderful Stoners back in the day. We used
Way
to
back.
book shows. IPM used to book shows for him. But if we booked him in an all ages room, it would just be SWS. Because some people would get uptight.
Yeah, I came up with a really good band name not too long ago, and it just hit me, and I don't remember what it was at all, and I'm like, I should write this down, but then I thought, I didn't have any paper. I'm like, it's okay. It's such a wonderful band name that I can't possibly ever forget it, and that was just a really bad,
You forgot
move.
it?
I forgot it.
Really? No
and
kidding.
At the time, I was like, this is it made so much like sense on so many levels. It was like perfect. It was like it meant like 4 or 5 different things, and they were all very. I just don't remember what it was.
Huh.
Oh, and there's a punk band from Vermont called Slam Pig. And I thought,
I think I've heard of that.
I'd like to put them all on like one show together. Come see Circus of Dead Squirrels, Hot Buttered Anal, and Slam Pig.
That would have been great at the Uptown Tavern.
And Meat Saw.
And Meat Saw.
Because I love Meat Saw.
Full of soup.
They have, well, Meat Saw is an actual band. My friends
you.
Meat Saw, they only have 3 songs though.
And they only play a show once every 5
They're
years.
playing another show.
They are? I didn't realize
in the
that.
next month,
Wow,
they're going to be playing
can't stop the Meat Saw.
a Meat Saw
That's going
show.
on the t-shirt.
Absolutely.
And I said, but you guys only have 3 songs, but their bass player is borrowing 2 songs from other bands that he's been in. So they're going to play some borrowed songs because they only have 3.
Well, it's better than playing the same songs backwards. I suppose they could do that.
Wow, that'd be hard.
It would be.
Or would it? I don't know. I've never tried. So how did the whole metal classroom thing start? How did you start doing that? How did that come about?
That's a good question. I don't remember. Oh, well, I was kind of helping Rage Rock Radio get promoted. I've known Hammer from Rage Rock Radio for a number of years. He used to be the head bouncer at the Dover Brick House, which is how I met him. And my roommate used to work for him. And then we just started going to the same shows, and he was trying to get Rage Rock off the...
No problem. Take your time.
Well, I had known Hammer for a really long time, and he was trying to get Rage Rock Radio off the ground again. So I had kind of committed into throwing a benefit show for him, which I would say that to date has been my most successful show. I was pretty happy with the turnout, and even though some band did back out at the last minute, and we had to do a lot of last minute scrambling, but it ended up turning out perfect. And though I did almost raffle off the t-shirt that I had wore to the club inadvertently, and he thought that it would be interesting to have me do a show. We thought that having a female personality talking about metal was its own angle.
Yeah.
Not the most original angle in the whole world, but Silly Girl Promotions has always been kind of about playing off stereotypes of women and using it as a tool, but at the same time breaking all the stereotypes about women. So I do use the fact that I'm a girl quite often when it comes to my advantage.
Does it ever come to your disadvantage?
I think that it does sometimes. Yeah. I have bands that think that they can overstep themselves with me because I'm a girl, and then I'll back down. But I don't take no crap.
All right.
You ever have to cut a band's face?
Just the bass player from Broken Hell.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
His ego just gets way too big sometimes. So
He gets out of line.
I cut his face, and then
He's just in love with himself.
I say, "That's fantastic,"
Yeah.
because that's my catchphrase.
And then
On the metal
he
classroom,
curls
yeah.
up on the
That's
floor
fantastic.
and
That's
whimpers.
fantastic.
Because you did say fantastical.
I say fantastic. That's fantastic and fantastical
Okay, cool.
all the time inadvertently.
Without trying?
Yeah.
All the
And
time?
then we all came up with catchphrase. Matt had a catchphrase, didn't you?
I did. What was it?
Cut your face.
No, it wasn't that. This was pre-cut your cut
It
your
was
face.
pre-cut your face.
What
Oh,
the hell was it?
here's the thing.
Oh, here's the thing. That was just for one day, though. And then I stopped saying it.
But now I can't stop saying it, and I notice every time
Well, now it's yours.
someone
I bequeathed it to you.
someone says it.
That's fantastic.
Like every time someone says it, even in public, like I'll be at work and someone will go, "Here's the thing," and then I
Here's the thing.
think of Matt Connerton.
Here's the thing, Matt.
She just thinks of me.
Well,
Just doesn't want to admit it.
it's the hair.
I know. You think about my hair, don't you?
I do. I was looking at a picture of you somewhere on the internet the other day, and your hair was really long, and
Yeah.
it was in mid motion.
Oh, I know exactly the picture you mean.
It was kind of flipping back up,
I know
and
the
I was
picture you
like,
mean.
"Huh."
Yeah.
It was probably on Impact Player Music, actually. Now that I
They
think
may
of
have
it,
been.
Yeah.
I have some pictures of me.
there's
on there.
pictures of me on there.
Yeah, I
Pictures,
saw them.
that picture that I love. The picture that everyone then goes, "So when can I see your band play?" And I go, I hate to disappoint you, but that was filler. That was the funniest night ever. We had a show that I wasn't the promoter on, but I was involved with, where 2 out of the 4 bands didn't show up. But a local band did happen to show up that was friends with one of the bands I was playing.
Oh, cool.
Minus their vocalist.
Oh, yes, I remember.
So we conned them into borrowing the other band's equipment and playing their entire set while 5 of us just randomly made up crap on top of it. So it literally it was just 5 people screaming and different bassists coming up and taking the bass and playing different parts.
Yeah.
And I believe everyone was
Drunk?
ridiculously drunk.
Well, you need to be.
There's video of me from that evening. I believe we had 2 people playing the drums at the same time. We had one drummer and a cymbal player who I believe wasn't wearing pants. I have pictures.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, it was just a mess. I'm surprised that band has ever gotten to play another show ever because we ruined every song they've ever written. So
It was good times.
it was hysterically fun.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. Our sound guy, he hated us.
Mr. Dave Blaze.
Mr. Dave Bliss was in hate with us. He
Really?
was so angry.
What did you do? Did you break something?
Dude, this is a disaster, guy.
What'd you do?
He was like, he couldn't keep track of it. I mean, we had 3 mics going and just random,
Right.
moaning and screaming and growling.
That sounds like fun.
I thought that it was awesome, but quite frankly, I may remember 5 minutes of the whole night. People showed me pictures. I no idea.
I once had to save a show that you booked, Matt, for me and Matty B, Matt Bovair. We had an acoustic set at the Uptown, I think it was.
Oh,
was it the
wow,
Uptown?
yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh, wow, that goes back.
we both had our acoustic guitars and we were playing some, acoustic songs, a lot of covers and stuff like that. But then I think his string broke first.
Yeah.
And then my string broke, so I took a string off his guitar because they were different strings. I took the right string from his guitar and put it on mine, and then strung it. About 2 minutes later, that broke.
Yeah.
So I threw the guitar across the room, and we just started stomping on the floor and singing "It's the End of the World as We Know It."
That was actually really cool.
Yeah, we got everybody singing along. It was pretty cool.
Wow, that was like 2003, I think.
Oh my God! Don't say that.
2003, 2004. Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It was back in the Paleozoic era.
I'm surprised no one cut your face.
Nobody did cut my face, but somebody tried to cut my toenails. Because I also took my shoes off as we were stomping on the floor.
And you had talons?
And I had talons down there, they noticed.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
Because then you get in bed and you accidentally cut the person that's there, and it hurts.
Toenails can be very sharp.
Yeah.
And there it can be hard, too.
Mm-hmm.
Hard and sharp like a knife.
It cuts like a knife.
That's what that
But
song's about.
it feels so right.
So
So
what's the most interesting segment you've ever had on the Middle Classroom?
besides Matt Connerton, the hypnotist, because that was pretty spectacular.
And by the way, Matt's the first person I ever hypnotized.
Yeah,
So
but
you guys
I'm the
have
first
something in
person
common.
that he's ever hypnotized on air.
Yes, that is true.
Well, you did hit. Was that before or after you came on my show?
Ooh.
Remember Your Health Matters?
Oh, when I hypnotized Amy? Yeah, because he had a show on WKXL.
You came on. It was you came on. You came on that show and you hypnotized the whole audience. The whole audience. Remember? Didn't you do a little hypnotism over on air?
Yeah, I did. You're right.
I thought so, or planned to. I don't know if we ever got around to it.
I don't think we actually did that. I think we just talked about it and then decided it would be a bad idea because if people were driving, they'd sue me.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. And you just
Yeah.
kind of explained what it would be like if they were to be hypnotized.
Right.
It was a rip-off, actually.
Yeah, totally.
I was actually hypnotized.
He told me about that. That's really interesting because I used to have trouble believing in that, and then he didn't hypnotize me to the point where I believed I was anything. I just was relaxed and under a very suggestive state, I guess. But what was that like?
I think that it was really easy because Matt and I are such good friends that there was a level of trust already built there. So I knew that he would never ever ask me to do anything that I wasn't comfortable with doing. And I'm pretty sure that he has a pretty good gauge of what is doable with me.
Yeah.
Though I wouldn't say I'm a very inhibited person, so it's not really difficult to it's hard to step over the line with me.
Sure. And what exactly? I'm sorry, I actually missed the episode. But what happened on the episode?
You can listen to it on Impact Player
Is it
Music.
still
That's true. That's the
Still
one
there?
that's on the site. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to
Episode
go
7
listen.
of the Metal Classroom.
Well,
is
then don't
available
tell
on
me.
the
Don't
website.
ruin it. I'll have to go
He
listen.
removed my fear of snakes.
Really?
Yes.
Are you afraid of snakes?
I
was
guess.
afraid of spiders, and he removed that. So
I hadn't thought of spiders. In fact, I'm actually mostly afraid of birds, so I have no idea how the snake thing came up. But
I love birds.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Birds and popsicle sticks and zombies.
Zombies, absolutely. No
Lions
good can
and
come
tigers
from
and
zombies. What?
Lions and tigers and bears.
Did you see Resident Evil 3?
No.
Zombie birds. I swear.
Wow.
They wrote the movie just to freak me out. They were like,
Carrying popsicle sticks.
what are the two things that could get her the most? I can't handle it. I think it's zombies because they embody my deepest fear, which would be of death.
Really?
So-
a lot of people have almost obsessed with zombie movies and zombies.
Yeah,
It's a big thing, and I never quite got it, but
we watch them a lot at my house, which
Yeah.
is ironic because I really can't stand them. But I think that's what it is. It's the embodied fear of death. Like it's confronting you,
Very common
Yeah.
fear.
chasing you like a zombie would to eat your flesh.
Do you know what the most common phobia is, though? Actually, is public speaking. Snakes is number 2. And you know what number 3 is?
being naked in a public
Clowns.
No.
place.
Talking to snakes in public. No, number 3 is death. Which is interesting because that means that the average person would actually rather die than be around snakes or speak in public.
Or the average person can see themselves being in a position where they would have to speak in public more so than seeing themselves in a position where they would be dead. And so they don't have to fear it as much.
Ah, well played.
Touche, good sir.
Yes.
Well, I don't mind dying or snakes. In fact, when I die, I want snakes all around me. I want to die from snakes.
Well, how's your economides?
Did you know snake venom actually cures economides?
I didn't know that.
Because, of course, you will die after the venom, and then you're immune to economides.
You might get it here from being in this room. It travels by air.
It's an airborne disease.
It is, yes.
It also travels in wires. It goes kind of through the microphone cables, and
Yeah.
I'll try not to put my mouth on the microphone.
it's good news. It's probably
That's a
best.
mistake I made. Our first
Yeah.
show,
He didn't
I was
know
like,
that.
ugh. I thought it was an eclair. I didn't know.
You
Do
don't
you
know
like
where that mic has
eclairs?
been.
I love eclairs. I try not to eat them
Eclairs
because
are-
they're
Is
not
an
good for you.
eclair,
It's-
exactly.
Have you ever had a Boston cream donut?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those.
Same difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
An eclair is just a longer version.
It's more phallic.
I always thought of
It is
eclairs. I
more
thought they were
phallic.
something that was ice cream. I thought like
No.
eclair ice cream. I guess is how I was introduced. So I always thought it was ice cream. But
I think they're disgusting.
You do have to be somewhat, if you're a man, you have to be somewhat, confident in your own
Yeah, well, it
sexuality.
is
to shove
like
an
a
eclair in your
phallic-
mouth. It is very phallic.
And it's full of cream.
Yes.
well, that sounds
Wait,
delicious.
I
That
do know a
sounds
second
delicious.
joke, actually.
Oh, let's hear it.
It's very unpolitically correct.
That's okay. It's internet radio. I already made a joke about Muslims.
Muslims.
Why do gay guys like crab ragoons?
Why?
Because they're hot and creamy and they explode in your mouth. That's
Wow.
the second joke that I know. I know 2 jokes, so I lied earlier. That's 2 jokes I know. I usually tell that to boys while they eat crab ragoons.
Well, I'm glad
To
we
make them
didn't
feel
order Chinese
uncomfortable.
takeout tonight.
And we haven't started shopping for our syndication deal yet, so it's okay. Say whatever you want.
Okay.
About us and our ways.
You both have fantastic hair.
Thank you. Thank you.
I took a shower before you came, and my hair was a mess. So it's probably a mess still.
Showering. Have you ever heard of that, Matt?
What are you trying to say?
Maybe you should work that into your schedule.
Saying I smell?
It's
All right.
it's
Next
a funk
week on the show, we're going to shower Matt. It's going to be great
with compliments.
with compliments.
Oh. And praise, and I love validation.
and water and soap and shampoo.
If there's validation and praise with it, I'm all
There'll
in.
be a
You
thorough
can-
delousing.
Actually, I don't mind. You can shower me. I'm not so sure about I don't really.
I gotta man the boards. I'll just set up
I don't
the
really
mics and-
shower with dudes. But you can clean me. Whatever.
You've never been to like a gym?
I have been to a gym.
Remember high school when you had to shower with everybody?
You know, you want to know something cool?
What?
I got through all of school without ever having to shower after gym class.
We never showered at my school.
Yeah.
My school was filled with a bunch of pedophiles.
Probably.
I
See,
think so.
yeah, I went to Concord High. Nobody showered
We
after
had a
gym class.
that was all about showering and how to do it, and actually the teacher helped us bathe ourselves.
Here's how you soap your nether regions.
Yes, and I thought it was normal. I thought everybody did this.
Was it a male teacher or a female teacher?
Oh, it was a male teacher. I think.
Wow.
I mean,
That's a bummer.
he had boobs, but it was still a man.
Sure, yeah.
There's plenty of those in the world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, wow. So when you say boobs, you mean it was a big fat guy with man boobs, or was it a transsexual?
They're actually called moobs.
moobs? I've never heard that term.
Man
moobs.
boobs.
Yes, they're called
male boobs.
moobs.
I've never heard the
Moobs.
term moobs.
You put your moobs in a bro.
Bro,
Huh.
a man's there.
Wow.
I prefer the bro.
I've never. Wow.
I call them moobs.
I've never heard that.
Yeah. What a fantastic set of moobs on that one.
Wow. See, that wouldn't occur to me. Fantastic set of moobs. Cause I don't look at men.
Ever?
Well, I mean, I look at men. I mean, I'm looking at you, but I mean, I don't like check men out. You know what I mean?
Ever?
I don't check out men's moobs. Well, all right, I'll confess. If a guy's got a really great set of moobs, I might glance.
He could be looking the other way though, and all you see are moves, and you're like, "Wow, check out that!" And then he turns around, and you're like, "Oh, that's a guy."
Right. And that's happened. I'll admit it. That's happened.
Oh, I think there was that episode of Family Guy where it was he made his own little collage of side boob shots, and you see the side of a boob.
Yeah, I saw that, and he's like, "What do you think about this side boob?" And then he's like, "Don't check that one out because that's my side boob."
That was a good one.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I
haven't
think
seen
it was
Family
just
Guy in a while.
on syndication the other day. I must
Probably.
have re-seen it. We watch it a lot at my house.
I will confess yet again on the same show that I don't have TV. I watch only DVDs and movies. I have some VHS too.
I used to live that life.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few things on TV I like, but for the most part, it's not worth all the insults that you get in between the programming.
We watch on demand.
on demand.
Digital cable.
Oh, right. You get to, is it kind of like pay-per-view or something? I don't know.
But it's free, and
wow.
all the cable channels, they put their shows up there, so
Right.
you can there's usually only like 2 commercials during the whole show, and
Oh, that's cool.
you get to really like check out all kinds of interesting programming.
That'd be nice.
I rarely watch things live. There are only certain shows that I catch live.
Mm-hmm. Now, well, when I had TV for a while, I was living with some friends while I was going to school for a little while, and I think I spent too much time watching TV, and it kind of, I got too many things to be doing to be watching TV ever.
Yeah.
But-
I have to have cable for the news channels because I'm such a political junkie.
Mm.
Did you vote?
I did.
Who'd you vote for? Do you want to say?
First, it's rude to ask, but
That's the first thing he asked me on the first
I
episode. of the
true,
show.
listened,
yeah. I
and I
can't
was like,
help
"This is so Matt Connerton
can't
because he's
help
acting about politics." And me, unlike you, actually voted for a winner. So
Ouch. So you voted for, Hillary?
I did vote for Hillary Clinton.
I thought as much.
Because
Communist. Oh, excuse
if you
me.
had looked at my personal MySpace, it does say right on it. Not only is Hillary my friend, but I'm also voting for her.
Yeah.
They actually made flyers to put on your MySpace, the Hillary campaign. I figure the male sex has been pretty much screwing up America since 1776. So maybe it's time to give someone with, a uterus a chance.
Yeah, definitely.
Plus, I'm a big Bill Clinton fan, so I'm kind of subscribing to the
she's
school
no
of
Bill
thought
Clinton.
that she had a lot to do with his campaign
what I thought.
and his presidency. So I think that the same would be true of hers.
Right.
Though I'm a Democrat. I'm such a liberal. I was really satisfied with the results of the New Hampshire primary, though, because if someone forced me to vote for a Republican, like put a gun to my head, which probably would be what it would take. John McCain would have been my pick.
Yeah.
So the fact that he won made me happy.
Me
but
too, actually.
I unfortunately, I don't think it's going to really make a difference in the scheme of things across the country. I think that it didn't give him enough of a motivation and setting himself up for success that that'll really carry over through the rest of the states. But
Well, we've been talking about President Romney.
scares the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he'll have like 10 first ladies?
It'll be the first woman or first ladies,
That would be impressive.
Yeah.
first harem.
I'd be impressed. Well, Clinton had that too, but he just wasn't married to them.
Right.
Here's my political dream. Hillary gets the nomination. And Al Gore decides to step up and be her vice president.
Wouldn't happen. I like Al Gore. I
Clinton
voted for him.
Gore. It has kind of a ring to it, doesn't it?
Well, there is something familiar about it, yes.
I voted for him too. Yeah. I pretty much up until this year I've always registered as an undeclared voter, and then voted straight ticket Democrat every single time.
Yeah.
But I figured this year would be the year that I would actually register as a Democrat. Though I did do some work for the Kerry campaign.
Did you?
When Kerry was running, yeah. I went around on election day and held up signs and such. And I did actually get a chance to see him speak
Cool.
right before he ran for president. It was sad that he didn't make it. He's actually, I think that if most Americans had had a chance to see him speak in person, the conflicts that they had with his personality would be a null and void topic, because he was a really compelling public speaker in person. So I think that his wife probably got in the way there.
Yeah, she seemed kind of nuts.
Yeah. Ketchup will do that to you.
And she has an accent. Is she even here legally?
Well, she's married to a citizen.
Yeah, good point.
All right.
Yeah.
Plus, she's an heiress.
No.
I mean, she's no Paris Hilton.
No.
And she doesn't say that's hot nearly as much. But I heard that Paris Hilton is got some woes going on anyways, because her grandfather is selling off a huge part of the hotel chain and
Really?
Donating the proceeds to charity.
Oh, good for him.
So her inheritance has shrunk in the past month or so.
That's good news.
Yeah, I know random facts.
That is random.
Yeah,
That is
like my
random.
fact about Vermont.
Oh, tell that.
And
'cause we were talking about
Montpelier,
that before
Vermont
the,
is the only state capital not to have a McDonald's in it.
Right. You mentioned that.
Yeah, I don't know why I know that. They might have a Boston market though.
Probably. I think.
And most people don't know that Boston markets are owned by the McDonald's
I
Corporation.
didn't know
that.
I didn't know.
They weren't originally. They were bought out, it must have been in 2002 or 2003. Right as we had the big MCI WorldCom debacle. And I got into buying stocks on the stock market. That's why I know things like this.
Wow.
Oh, it's good to know.
Yeah.
All right, then.
Now
You are
that we've
in the know.
Yeah.
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 Well, let's see. So we talked about the show coming up at Millie's and the Metal Classroom and Rage Rock Radio. And do you want to mention one more time how people can find the Metal Classroom?
You can find the Metal Classroom on ragerockradio.com. Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also find more information about it on my MySpace, which is myspace.com /sillygirl promotions. Or you can, if you're on the Impact Player Music site right now, you can go to, there's actually a page there attached to the Silly Girl page called Metal Classroom, which will show you more information about that. Links over to the Rage Rock Radio site, I believe. I hope so. I built the page, but I don't.
It does. I tried it.
Unfortunately, I don't check out my own page very often. I probably should. And I do also list with a bunch of other websites. My events are listed on multiple websites, as many websites as possible.
Yes.
You could Google Silly Girl Promotions.
I think that's a good way to find information about a lot of things.
You want to know? I occasionally Google myself. because it makes me feel famous.
I Google people I know all the time and find
Yeah.
all sorts of strange things. Usually not about them, but
I like to just Google myself and see where my name shows up.
Sometimes Matt's at home and then he Googles himself
Yeah, I do.
when he's feeling lonely.
Yeah. I was
This is the content that the metal classroom has most of the time, too.
I was
Really
about to,
bad sexual innuendo.
I was about to take that one step further, and I stepped back. I actually censored myself, which I never do when a mic is in front of me.
Yeah,
I
I've had you on the show twice, I know.
I stepped right back from the edge there. You don't even know what
normally
I was
I
about
have to censor myself later on. He goes home and I go through and I edit out thousands of horrific like racial remarks, racial slurs. Just
On all
Matt's
those,
very racist.
all those Wayne's World references.
yes.
It was very 1993. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm all about it. But
Must be one of the VHS's tapes that you have.
I think I have Wayne's World 1 and 2 on VHS actually.
And he has 80 editions of Loveline.
Yeah, I used to listen to Loveline a lot. And when I
My
started
father,
recording them.
I told my father. Have you ever met my father? I don't think
I
you
met
have.
your father.
You've met my father.
He thinks I'm hot.
He does.
Really?
Yes, he was asking me about you.
Yeah. He asked me, did he ask if I had a sister or an older sister?
An older sister. Yeah.
Which, would probably be my mom. Would it be awesome if we set my parents up?
Are your parents married? Or are they
My
divorced?
mother has a boyfriend, and she's only been with him since like 1984, so it could end at any moment.
She'd love my dad. Women love my dad. He doesn't even realize.
He looked pretty styling. I kind of wanted to sit on
My
his
dad
lap,
said.
but I didn't know how he would take it.
I think he would have taken it pretty well. I think he would have been into that.
You would have taken it like a champ.
Yeah.
But yeah, his hair was fantastic too. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. I'll tell him you. No, I won't tell him you said that. I don't even know. Oh, what I was going to say, though, is my father was fascinated when I told him that you have all those because he listens to Loveline.
Oh wow.
He hates Dr. Drew. He refers to him as Dr. Filth.
Dr. Filth.
My father's also he's actually a shrink, but he feels that Dr. Drew gives out a lot of bad advice to the youngins.
Really?
He's doing
Yeah.
a TV show now.
Yeah, that celebrity
Rehab.
Oh, and my dad's got major issues with
I
that
think I've
program.
heard
He
of
saw
that.
it and he thinks it's indefensible. But having said, my point being, when I told him you have all those love lines, he was quite fascinated with
wow.
that.
Television on VH1, reprehensible. That's where you go for your supply of garbage TV.
I do watch the Salt and Pepper show.
That was the hysterical episode when they went to play in the church.
Yeah, that was good.
That was, and they had to make "What a Man be about Jesus."
Yeah,
Well, that's weird.
yeah.
Oh,
This is why I don't watch TV.
Yeah.
You know what you're missing.
I actually find myself working out longer at the gym because there's a crap TV show on VH1 and I have to see what happens. Currently watching Scott Baio is 46 and pregnant.
Yeah.
I
Me
feel
too,
dirty
actually.
already.
Yeah. Well,
weird.
on that note, we'll wrap this up. VH1 isn't paying us, so
No?
well. But thank you for being our very first ever in the entire. What has it been like? 3 years?
About a week, Matt.
Oh, jeez.
Well, could I make one request?
Absolutely.
As I leave?
Absolutely.
Do you think you could play another track by Reckoning?
We could actually.
Oh.
We absolutely
I
could.
brought you another track
You did.
because I thought that you should expand your Reckoning library. So
Reckoning with a W.
with a W, yes.
With a W.
If you were interested in finding out more about them, you can go to my MySpace. They are in my top friends. I believe they're number 2 at the moment because I have a show coming up with them. I actually organized my top friends.
I should do that.
It's in,
I think
with shows.
I think you're in my top friends.
Oh,
Broken Hell is my number 1 friend right now.
wow.
So
They're
the
lucky.
lineup of my show is my top 5 friends right now, or the 5 bands that
cool.
are playing my show.
Wow.
a good
And
way
I
to keep
do I reorganize them when I have shows coming up. Sometimes bands only show up in my top friends during that one period of time that they have a show coming up with me. But yeah, so let's play their song. I'm doing your show.
No,
I'm
that's
introducing
okay.
your
No,
song. I'm sorry.
The floor is yours. Please
I'm
do.
so used to doing
You're-
this. So
No, please go for it.
here is The Great Awakening by Reckoning.
Excellent. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I want to thank you, Matt, for talking directly away from the microphone the whole time.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I could do that for you.
Yep.